Jurassic Park to me was such a cinematic achievement. And at that time, 93, when it was released, there was nothing bigger than that. It just exploded when it came onto the scene. And this is really my introduction to Steven Spielberg and his filmmaking, brilliant filmmaking. Of course, I came around. I was born in 1987, so by then you had, the Indiana Jones, you had E.T., and you had Hook. But this one really drew me in, of course, over time, and it stuck with me after all these years. If you were to ask me what's my favorite movie of all time, I'd say Jurassic Park right away. It's always that number one, so it will always be at that number one spot. Yes, I have a profound love for dinosaurs, but when it comes to this particular film, it really is a driving force in my heart. Let's talk about the cast. We have the Alan Grant is played by Sam Neill, who back then was known for some horror movies. He's done work with John Carpenter at the time. We also have Laura Dern, who she was up and coming as well, and still this today. She's in this. She's in a lot of movies and TV shows, and of course you have the great Jeff Goldblum, who starred in The Fly. He was in The Fly with back in the 80s, and this was really his. I think to me his coming out party, and his popularity grew from there. Wayne Knight, who, as you know, he has a role. Was in Seinfeld, the television show of it. I always venture out and want to relive these moments, see this timeless classic movie over and over again with, today's generation and introduce them to those powerful, impactful scenes. And that's what carries me. That's what allows me to go on with these movies that I grew up with. Or John Williams' score, him and Steven Spielberg. They are two peas in a pod. He's used him time and time again, from Jaws to Indiana Jones to even Star Wars. But here, oh man, just so on such a grand scale, the music score. So this movie feels like an event not to be missed, and it's still so triumphant. And with Steven Spielberg, what he made here for us, for our entertainment, is still memorable to this day. And that's why I love this movie so much. Not to mention the merchandise after this film was released was like a tidal wave of joy. You had, it's on the backpacks, on the lunch boxes, action figures, dinosaurs sold in stores. You even had cups, plastic cups that McDonald's had for once upon a time. But yeah, it's just all nostalgia. Video games, not to mention. And later on, of course, this movie was so popular that it had spawned multiple sequels. Some people enjoy, some might not. But yeah, everyone always goes back to the original. Favorite dinosaur out of this one would have to be the Dilophosaurus. That one's so beautiful to look at, although it's only on screen, in a few minutes. And that's enough for me, but like I just want to know. And one thing I'd like to point out is out of all the sequels, they kind of left that one alone for some odd reason. I don't know why, 'cause it's so gorgeous to look at. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson's in this one too. Yeah, this is one of his earlier roles. This was around the time he did Pulp Fiction. So yeah, definitely a key player here. Another thing that really stands out to me about Jurassic Park is the look to it. There's a lot of color palettes to it on film, from how the way it's shot, and especially I love how the look of the dinosaurs. Let me take you back to the Dilophosaurus. One thing I noticed as it's on screen for the few moments, the skin of the dinosaur reminds me of a snake-like, almost reptilian-like design. I don't know how many of you knew this, but Jurassic Park is based on a novel by Michael Crichton, and he contributed to the film. He's one of the producers of the film, and so that really sends a message there that he was on board with a top tier director, and so it makes all it worthwhile. So with that said, after all of my talking, gotta know, what's your favorite movie of all time, if you have one? What's your favorite Steven Spielberg film? All right, leave a comment below. I'd love to chat with you guys. All right, I'll see you again very, very soon. All right, take care. I wanna say something.